Oh, you don't have one. All right. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. That's good news, isn't it? See. Okay. Great, great. That's wonderful. Oh, yeah. I can't keep it all straight. I'm glad you all can keep it all straight. Okay, so do you remember from Monday, we started talking about how to compare, right? So, ¿quién es más alto? So, first of all, we got to figure out what it's asking, right? ¿Quién es más alto? So, what's your guess? What do you think it's asking? Yes, muy bien. So see, like we don't speak that way in English, right? So it's kind of awkward for us. Yeah. Hmm. So who is more tall? Or in English, we would say who is taller, right? Muy bien. So how do we answer the question? You can unmute if you feel up to it, Heaven, since it's just me and you. Hola, Arshas. Can you hear me? Buenos dias. Wow, look at you all dressed up and prettied up. You look great. How are you today? What's your puppy's name? Creamy. I like that. I like that. Creamy. Aw, creamy, a boy or a girl? A girl. Hi, Creamy. Hi, pretty girl. How are you? Pretty girl. Que bonita. Is that right? You weren't here Monday? Okay. So what we did Monday was we did like comparison, like who is like this, quién es más alto, más o menos, like who is more tall or who is less tall. So in this case, we would say Bob es más alto, right? Bob is more tall que Bill, right? Than Bill. So Bob es más alto que Bill. Okay. Random names, you guys. So who is more tall? Bob is more tall than Bill. Okay. So what I would like to do today is, except the office keeps talking to me. What I would like to do today is, well, let me reach out to Nikki real fast. Hold on. Is basically, you guys, we are finishing unit 3. Yeah. And depending upon testing and depending upon how the rest of the school year goes, unit 3, happily, may be our very last regular kind of unit. Okay. It may be our regular textbook unit of the year. So we want to go ahead and finish that. All righty. So what I'd like to do today, we have about 30 minutes or so, is I'd like to do an ed puzzle again today to introduce to you. Monday we did unequal comparisons, like who is more tall and who is less funny, or whatever the words we were using. Today I want us to look at how do we do equal comparisons. Okay, how do we do equal comparisons? So let me pull this up. and we'll work through it together. So make sure you can hear. And here in just a second, I'll share my screen. Good morning, Stacy. How are you today? Okay, so here's hoy es miércoles, el 22 de abril. Vamos a practicar con tan como, tan como. Now, we may or may not today get to these irregular verbs, and that's fine. Don't, we'll just do it on tomorrow. That's no biggie, okay? All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Again, make sure that you can hear and make sure that you can see. And what we're going to do today is equal comparisons. Instead of saying, Stacy, instead of saying who's taller, who's shorter, like we did the other day, on Monday, we're going to try to be able to say, like, Bob is as tall as Bill, as tall as. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do today. So buenos dias, Dallas. Make sure y'all can hear, make sure y'all can see, and we'll just put our answers in chat like we always.
Hola. En esta lección vamos a aprender a hacer las comparaciones de igualdad en español.
Can y'all hear? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear, okay? Kevin, yeah, Arshas. See? All right, muy bien. Thank you, Dallas.
Before watching this video, you might watch the previous videos on comparisons. Try the following. Read the description and determine who it's talking about. If it's not talking about anyone, the answer is nadie, no one. Pause the video if you need more time, and check the word bank if you aren't sure about a word. ¿Quién es menos inteligente?
Okay, so ¿quién es menos inteligente? So who can tell me, what do you think that's asking? That we did más and menos on Monday. And we actually looked at this earlier in the school year as well. Heaven, what do you think it's asking? ¿Quién es menos inteligente? Yeah, so who is less intelligent? So based on the grade, yeah, very good. Based on the grade, right? We see Santiago's got an F minus and Mateo has an A plus, right? So what would our choices be? Would it be A, B, or C? Pop your answers in the chat. How would we respond? Good, Stacy. Now remember that menos means less and más means more. So would our answers be A, B, or C? Who is less intelligent based on their grades? Okay, muy bien. Heaven, Arshas. Okay, so we want to say who is less intelligent, right? If Santiago has an F minus and Mateo has an A plus, who is less intelligent? Menos inteligente. What would our choices be? A, B, or C? Nikki, what do you think? Less intelligent, Santiago with an F minus or Mateo with an A plus? Yeah, you want to put it in the chat, Nikki, so that it's private. Oh, Okay, guys, give me 1 second.
Miss Rovello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm Nikki's mom. I've been hospital. I'm sorry. Here come the doctors again. I've been hospitalized since Thursday, so she's trying to log in, but she may not be able to because I'm in a critical condition right now.
Okay, I
Um,
understand.
so that's why she couldn't really answer you.
That's okay. What we need to figure out is when Nikki can make up her GMAS tests. So I
She has a
will.
GMAS test today.
She has them for the next week. But that's
Well,
okay.
well, I got an email saying she only had to take history on the 28th.
History on 28th. Okay, that's fine because every student is different. So we just want to make sure that she does take her GMAS.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to let you know, like, if like when the respiratory and the doctor they're coming in, so she might have to,
That's fine. That's fine. I
but
want
she's
to let you know
trying.
that all of these classes are recorded on YouTube, so she can always go back and watch. Okay.
Okay,
All
because
right.
she's
Thank you.
trying to log in, but we're going through a lot right now.
I understand, and I hope you feel better soon.
Yes,
You look
ma'am.
good. You look good. If that's any consolation.
Yeah, I'm in stage 4 right now, so I ain't doing good. So.
Oh, well, you look beautiful. I wish you luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Okay. All right, you guys. So let's see what our answer would be. ¿Quién es menos inteligente? Who is less intelligent? So based on his grades, we would say A, right? Santiago. Santiago es menos. Based on his grades, right? Santiago is less intelligent. Okay. All right, let's continue.
Santiago es menos inteligente que Mateo. ¿Quién es menor?
All right, so who is younger? ¿Quién es menor? Who is younger?
Nadie es menor.
All right, so nadie es menor. Nadie clase is no one. Or in this case, in English, we would say neither. Why do we say that? Because they are both 4 years old, right? Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're following. So who is younger? Neither, right? No one is younger. Give me a thumbs up if you're with that. See? Oh no. See? Okay, muy bien. So nadie es menor because they're the same age. They're both 4 years old. Okay.
¿Quién es más deportista?
All right. ¿Quién es más deportista? So deportista is athletic or sporty. Again, assuming those are their grades in PE class. ¿Quién es más? Who is more athletic? Clase Santiago or Inés? What do you say? Who wants to give that one a try? Kevin, you want to give that one a try? Who's more sporty? Yeah, the grade on the paper is supposed to be their PE grade, right? What do y'all say? Arshis, what would you say? You guys feel free to throw your answers in chat. Who's more sporty? ¿Quién es más deportista? Sí, muy bien, Stacy. Anyone else? Muy bien, muy bien. Okay, clase, so let's listen. Inés es más deportista que Santiago. Inés es más deportista que Santiago. How do I know that? F, sporty or meaning athletic, yeah? Okay. She's got an A in PE, he's got an F. So Inés es más deportista. Okay, she's more athletic.
Nadie es más deportista.
Well, I disagree.
¿Quién es más fea?
Okay, so here we go. ¿Quién es más fea? Who remembers what fea means or feo? Anybody? Feo or fea? Ugly. Very good, Arshis. Okay, so based on the images, we've got Beatriz y Lucia. ¿Quién es más fea? Who is more ugly? Pop your answers in the chat. What do you think? Beatriz, Lucia, o nadie? Good, Stacy. Good, Arshis. Dallas, how about you? Heaven, perfect. Okay, clase, nadie, right? Nadie. Nadie es más fea.
Nadie es más fea. ¿Quién es mayor?
Okay, ¿quién es mayor? Who is older?
Nadie es mayor. Let's look at those sentences again. You might have noticed that in some of them the answer was nadie. In those specific examples, maybe we would have really wanted to say that someone isn't more or less of something than the others, but rather they are the same or similar. To do that, we'll take those examples and say that they are as blank as the other. Juanito es tan joven como Margarita.
Okay, so two ways of saying the same thing is what he's trying to express to us here. Remember that we're talking about being equally tall, equally short, equally ugly, equally young, equally old, whatever, okay? And so we can say it by saying neither one, nadie, or this way, tan como. So who is younger? And notice that they're the same age. So we would say Juanito is as young. Juanito es tan joven. He is as young as Margarita, como Margarita. Juanito es tan joven como Margarita. Juanito is as young as Margarita. Tan como, as. Okay? All right, continuemos.
O Margarita es tan joven como Juanito. Santiago es tan deportista como Inés. O Inés es tan deportista como Santiago. Beatriz es tan fea como Lucía. O Lucía es tan fea como Beatriz.
Okay, so in this one, it's ¿quién es mayor? Who is older? Who is older? They're the same age. And so Doña Rosa es tan vieja que como Domingo, or Domingo es tan viejo como Doña Rosa. Okay.
Doña Rosa es tan vieja como Domingo. O Domingo es tan viejo como Doña Rosa.
So I want you guys to notice something. In the first sentence, we're talking about a female. And so vieja has an A because we're saying that she is as old. We're describing her. But if we're talking about Domingo being as old, then notice we use the O, right? Because we're describing Domingo. So in the first sentence, we're talking about Doña Rosa. So we're feminine. In the second sentence, we're talking about Domingo, who's a guy. And so viejo has to be masculine.
Interesting. So when something is more or less, when we're describing, we'll use the formula noun plus a form of ser or estar, más or menos, depending on if we want to say that's more or less, the description that's agreeing in the number and gender of the first noun, que, and the other noun. But when something is the same as something else, or as blank as something when we're describing, we're going to use the following formula. Like a noun, a form of ser or estar, tan, the description agreeing in number and gender of the first noun, como, and a second noun. Now, knowing that tan como is used to describe when something is the same, let's try some. Look at the following and decide if the description matches the picture, using sí o no.
Okay, get ready.
Mateo es tan bueno como Santiago e Inés en los deportes.
Okay, Mateo es tan bueno como Santiago e Inés en los deportes. So Mateo is as good as Santiago and Inés in sports. Okay, as good as. So Santiago has an F, Inés and Mateo have is as good as Santiago and Inés in sports, sí or no? What's your guess? Once again, I guess it depends on how he interprets that image. Sí or no? A, B, or C? What do you think? Mateo es tan bueno. He is as good as. Es tan bueno como Santiago e Inés. A, B, or C? What's your guesses? Okay, Arshis? Evan? Okay. All right, good. This is kind of like a logic problem, huh? It's kind of like a logic problem. Okay, so some of you are telling me B, and some of you are telling me C. Okay, so let's just look at our choices. A says, yes, Mateo is as good in sports as Santiago. If we go by the image, Mateo has an A, Santiago has an F. If we're going by grade, right? B says, no, Mateo is worse than Santiago in sports. But Mateo again has an A and Santiago has an F. In C, it says, no, Mateo is better than Santiago. Es mejor que Santiago. Mateo has an A, Santiago has an F. So in my book, if we said C, I think that's the best answer, but let's see how he interprets it. Okay, so he says Mateo es peor que Santiago, which is not true because Mateo has an A and Santiago has an F. So I'm not sure how they're interpreting that. Okay, all right, let's go on.
No. Mateo es peor que Santiago e Inés en los deportes.
Yes, but he's not. He's not. Okay.
Pedro está tan contento como Javier y Santiago.
Right. Yeah, it could be because he's holding basketball or whatever, but then, you know, to clarify, we should get rid of the grade. You know what I mean? Okay, let's look at this next one. Pedro está tan contento como Javier y Santiago. Pedro is as happy as Javier and Santiago. So, what's your choice? A, B, or C? Pedro is as happy as Javier and Santiago. A, B, or C? Okay, Heaven, how about you, Arshis? Dallas or Stacy? Okay. Dallas or Stacy, what's your guess? Pedro está tan contento como Javier y Santiago. Pedro is as happy as Javier and Santiago. A, B, or C? Okay, you guys are telling me. Okay, Dallas, can you hover over your Zoom down at the bottom of your Chromebook screen and see if it comes up bigger? Okay, so you guys are telling me C. Well, let's see if you're right. Okay, C. How come C? So let's look at it. It says, no, Pedro is not as happy as Javier and Santiago. Pedro is less happy. Pedro está menos contento que Javier y Santiago. How come? He only has a penny and he's not smiling, right? So he's less happy than, right? Okay, we'll do a couple more. Like I said, these are
No.
like logic.
Pedro está menos contento que Javier y Santiago. Santiago e Inés son tan inteligentes como Mateo.
Okay, we're back to the grades. Santiago e Inés son tan inteligentes como Mateo. They are as intelligent as Mateo. Well, Santiago has an F, Inés and Mateo have an A. So what would be your answer? A, B, or C? Santiago y Inés son tan inteligentes como Mateo. They are as intelligent as Mateo. Okay, Marcius? Who else? Stacy, Dallas, Heaven? What's your guess? I'm trying to see what time it is. How much time do we have? Okay. Telling me C, right? You're telling me Santiago, this guy here, is less intelligent than Mateo. Well, Santiago has an F and Mateo has an A. So let's see if you're right. Yay. Okay, so if you chose C, you're absolutely correct.
No. Inés es tan inteligente como Mateo. Beatriz es tan alta como Blanca.
Okay, Beatriz es tan alta. So is Beatrice as tall as Blanca? It's hard to know. They got these hats and stuff on. What do you all think? Beatriz es tan alta? Okay, you guys are telling me B. You're telling me Beatriz es menos alta, that she's shorter. Well, let's see.
No. Beatriz es menos alta que Blanca.
Okay.
Una cosa más. How about you try to determine which of the following would best fit in the blanks? Pause the video if you need more time, and check the word bank if you aren't sure about a word.
Okay. So we have Mateo e Inés son blank Santiago en las clases. So mejor is better, peor is worse, and tan is as, right? So equally. So Santiago has an F, Inés and Mateo have an A. So our question, Mateo e Inés son blank Santiago en las clases. Are they better than, worse than, or the same as? A, B, or C? What do you think? Santiago has the F. Okay. All righty. All right. So you guys are telling me A. So you're telling me Mateo and Inez are better than Santiago in his classes, right? So let's see if you're right. Right, right. Because mejores que is better than, and Inez and Mateo have an A, but Santiago has an F. Okay. All right.
Mateo e Inés son mejores que Santiago en las clases.
Okay, one more. Margarita es blank Domingo. So Domingo is 60 years old and Margarita is 4 years old. So would it be A, B, or C? I'm talking about Margarita. Okay, good, Heaven. Arshas, what do you say? Stacy or Dallas? So mayor is older. Arshas. Menor would be younger. And tan como is as, meaning they're the same. Okay. Bueno. Stacy or Dallas? Stacy, muy bien. Margarita es menor, right? She's younger than. Menor que. Okay, good.
Margarita es menor que Domingo.
Okay. Jimena and Linda, right? So the two on the left. Jimena y Linda son blank, bonitas, blanca. So bonitas, pretty. So look at the way they're dressed. Are they dressed equally the same? Is one dressed better than the other? Is one less better dressed? What's your choice? A, B, or C? Good, Heaven. Good, Arshis. Stacy or Dallas, what do you guys say? Good, Stacy. All right. So you all are telling me C? Right. So Jimena y Linda son tan bonitas como Blanca. So Jimena and Linda are as pretty as Blanca. As pretty as Blanca. All right. Any questions, you guys? Any questions? We're going to stop this here. Preguntas. Okay. Preguntas. Arshas, I know it's kind of tricky since you weren't here. The other ed puzzles are in the modules and they are published if you just kind of want to go back and work through them yourself. Okay, no problem. All right, last thing I want us to do, and let me check one thing, you guys. If we have about 5 minutes, and I just want to check something. Give me 1 second. Okay, Heaven, you have completed the gallery walk. Arshis, you have completed the gallery walk. Let's see who else. Okay, Stacy, Dallas. Stacy and Dallas need to complete the gallery walk. Hola, Christopher. You have completed the gallery walk. Okay. So we have about 5 minutes. Yeah, how was it, Christopher? All right. Long questions? Yeah. Okay. Well, it's over. Whew, check it off the list, right? Okay, so Arshus and Heaven, feel free to work on something for another class. Arshus, if you want to go back and look at those ed puzzles from Monday, they're published. Christopher, we just did an ed puzzle in Canvas on equal comparisons that you can check out. Dallas and Stacy, you need to probably work on your gallery walk and get that turned in. Okay. All right. Everybody cool with all of that? We only have about 5 minutes left. Yes. Okay. Well. Well, thanks for being flexible, you guys. With all this testing and stuff, we got to be flexible, right? Or if you guys have any VHL assignments missing, you could work on VHL for the next few minutes. Okay, if you guys want to check out my screen, Arshus, just so you know where they are. They're in Unit 3, Desafío 3. There's these two here. There's a presentación and a tutorial that you'll get a point for by checking those out. And then here's another presentación for comparisons. And then this is the one that we did today, Christopher, forming equal comparisons. Okay. So you guys can check those out. Okay, you guys, just a reminder, the rest of your day, yeah, should be normal schedule, right? I appreciate you coming, logging in, working with me. Okay, nos vemos mañana. See you tomorrow. Yeah. Adios. Have a great rest of your day, you guys. Take care. Adios a todos. Christopher, you got any questions before we sign off today? Okay.